Hi, everybody. Welcome to Humble Opinion. In our humble opinion, I'm Chachi. That's Tom. Tom, say hi.
What up?
All right,
We're
guys.
back.
Welcome to the
Week
week
4.
week four recap, baby. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Thursday night game. Obviously, Tom's Packers played the Lions. Tom, what are your thoughts on it? Little rough game.
Khakis. Nah. I think you saw a young team in the Packers that they they have a lot of fight in them. They've got to learn how to get consistency and start fast on offense. Um, Offensive line wise, they just got the crap beat out of them, and it's really bad on film. If you watch it, I think there's a couple players that you might question why they're on an NFL field. Hopefully that gets corrected. I think the biggest thing is you cannot win games in the NFL when you only run the ball 12 times, which I blame that on our play callers and not focusing on it and not helping the defense out. Giving them a fresh breath, but then also too, you can't give up 200 plus yards again rushing. Like, this has been a perpetual problem since I've probably since the 2000s. It just seems like it's constantly a problem for the Packers. I don't know if hey, we get Hall of Fame quarterbacks, but we don't get a run defense. I don't know if that's just how the
That
world
works.
plays
Yeah.
out or what, but it's that's super tough, man. So it's going to be like that for me as a Packer fan and all the Packer fans out here all year. So,
Yeah.
what I hope is for the fan base is support them. Right? It's hard. This is a very young team, not as much depth as you think. You got to support them, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
going to get better, and it's going to be good.
I
On Detroit side, man, Dan Campbell's awesome, man. Like, that team is definitely like a for real NFC North contender. I'll be curious when it really counts. Do they still know how to win? Not sure about that yet. But so far, I think there's ways to beat them. They are a very beatable team. So I do want to say that. But, Chach, let me hear your thoughts from the non-biased Packer fan side.
I think the Jordan Love stuff is a little ridiculous to people giving him crap. Okay, the dude's played what 4 games now. Like, let's give and he's shown good poise. And like you said, let's be real. You just want to make people are making that an excuse, like a thing to get mad at them. Like you said, if you let any team run for 200 yards, it's gonna be really hard to win a game because that dictates everything. They can hold the ball. Their defense is resting. It's not good. They dominated the line of scrimmage. You do that, you're gonna win the majority of games that you play. It's not that hard to figure out. I mean, honestly, Tom, you played football for a long time. If you, what do they always tell you? If you can dominate both sides, both lines of scrimmage, you'll probably rarely lose a game because it dictates everything. It's very difficult to do anything if your D line's playing well in an offense. If you're just moving the other team and getting 5, 6 yards of carry, I mean, you're dictating everything in the football game. Detroit, like you said, looks good, but like you said, this isn't money time. We'll see how they play when it's actually like dictating playoff seeding, and it's time to really get it in December or January. We'll see how it goes. And like you said, they
Yeah,
still have the same issues they had before. Their secondary's kind of shaky. I want to see how they do against like a team that very good passing game. We'll see. I love Dan Campbell
yeah.
though.
The one thing I saw, Green Bay was attacking them in the past game, and when they had time, they got them.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
saw Seattle do it. That is their weakness. They have an amazing front four, but they don't want to blitz,
No, no.
right? They want to get home. So if you can get some, 7-man protections, you can get them, and that's been their Achilles heel, and that's going to matter when teams really figure out how this team functions, right? Week 4, I think
Yep.
people are still learning the kinks and kind of figuring things out, but. Look, Detroit, they came ready to play. They were physical, man. Like, I am not knocking that team at all. Yeah, as a Detroit fan, you should be super excited, but don't sit there and hype your team up
Yeah,
as
yeah.
the the next NFC champion.
And
So
the last thing I want to say is the Packers. Like you said, guys, give your team time. They're going to be fine. Okay, they have some issues. Every team has issues though. Not only that, it's not a finished product. There's the year they won the Super Bowl. If you would have watched them through the first 4 games and like made assumptions, you would have never thought they could have won the Super Bowl. And then they just came together. Stuff like that takes time. all these teams. That's why these people on TV talking about all this like ranking teams and stuff. I ain't ranking anybody. It's 4 weeks in. We ain't doing that. I don't. It's not time yet. It's not even close. No one's finished product. I mean, hell, last week everyone was like, the Dolphins are the greatest team ever, bro. And we're going to talk about what happened to them because they got punched in the mouth. I mean, like, punched in the mouth. That was bad. You saw that great defense that everyone said they had. Secondary's a joke. Come on, man. Let's be. But it's the fourth game, so you never know.
It's the NFL's about complementary football. I mean, football is in general, and what you saw on Thursday night is a prime example from the Packers' standpoint of, hey, when you don't play complementary football, when your offense is going 3 and out constantly and putting that defense in a bad spot, I would love to see this Packers defense play with a large lead, and I'd love to see all the Joe Barry haters and all that. Just let's talk about what happens then.
No, I agree.
This defense is built a certain way,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think in 2.5 years I've not seen them in a position that they should, that I think they would excel in, which is really disappointing.
And I'm not taking a shot at the Dolphins, okay? They could be great. I don't know. But I just think this crap where, like, we sit here and want to crown teams after 2-0 starters. And it's like, dude, we got a long way to go. I will talk about, once we get to, like, the later parts of the season, when there's about 4 or 5 games left, then I'll start talking about who looks really good, okay? The only team I'll give you so far that looks solid all the way around, and I still have even questions about them, is the 49ers, because of the fact that Purdy still isn't, he's still in like his young part of his career. I don't know if he's got the guts for these big games. Like you said, we'll see later on. This is the beginning of the season. Everyone's a little loose trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah. I'll also say too, I think just like even watching this week, like you saw like that Arizona Cardinal team, they fight, man. And you saw a team
Gannon's good.
If you get a good game plan against Kyle Shanahan and a team that knows him, look at what Sean McVay did. What was that, week 1 or week 2? Again, there's been some really good battles. We'll give Kyle Shanahan, and that offense has got weapons now. But also, it just takes one injury, and it's a rough go. So,
I agree.
All right. What's the next one?
Okay, second game, we're going to London, right? It was in London, right? The Falcon game, was it?
Oh yeah, dude, the Toy Story broadcast.
Oh no, it was hilarious. Falcons against Jaguars. What did you think, Tom? What did you think? That was funny.
Number one, the Toy Story broadcast was fire.
That was great.
Probably more entertaining than the game. So shout out to Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus. If y'all, hey Disney Plus, you should sponsor us. Just
man, come on now. Mando, let's go. Ahsoka.
Dude, Falcon, man, the Falcons. At some point. So number one, I am tired of hearing Arthur Smith and him getting offended in press conferences when people question why we're not seeing Kyle Pitts get the ball, Drake London the ball. These are top 10 NFL picks.
Yeah.
Right? They are weapons. I cannot believe in my mind of minds, they're not doubling, and they're not doubling Drake London. They're not, get the ball to these guys for the love of God. It's just like it's so stupid at this point. Like Kyle Pitts, I don't know what's the point of even having him. Just trade him. He's a decoy, and I don't even know if he's a decoy because you don't throw it to him, so no one cares.
And they're like, they don't throw it to him, so why are we worried about him?
Yeah, it's becoming the Bijan Robinson show, which is great, but that's going to get shut down, and you saw it. The Jaguars defense shut them down. So, or shut it, they contained him, right? Like, Bijan was unbelievable. Desmond Ridder, I think one of his issues right now, I mean, he's still young in his career, but, dude, a lot of young quarterbacks, they struggle getting in a rhythm. That's what I saw, is he's almost got to get, like, sacked once, and then he's fine. Or throw his first pick, and he's like, okay, I'm good. So maybe, like, the first play, you just let him throw a ball like a punt and see what happens. I don't really know. That's got to be fixed, but I think you gotta plan a game. Get your weapons involved early. Like, stop it with the, I think their offense has a lot of potential, and you don't see it because I don't see the guys that need to get the ball. It makes zero sense to me.
No.
The brilliant mind that is Arthur Smith. Come on, man.
No. I agree.
And if Desmond Ridder can't get it to him, put Taylor Heineke in. Stop playing games, dude. You're going to lose your job.
No, really. No. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, so, Jaguars side, I mean, they look okay. I'm kind of disappointed where they're at this year. I don't know if teams have figured them out a little bit. Just kind of that second year under a new head coach. Sometimes things, expectations are always super high because you have all the success, but in reality, it's, things kind of normalize out. So they've been interesting, but they're still good. I mean, the AFC South is winnable for sure. You do have a really young, good-looking Houston Texans team, though, and even what the Colts are kind of doing right now, you kind of go, okay, might be a little more competitive than we
Yeah,
thought.
they're all really solid teams. I don't think there's a terrible team in that division, not one. They're all pretty like they're tough to play. They're gonna tough anytime you play them. It's gonna be a dogfight, man. They're tough. I think the same
Yeah,
thing you said. Use your weapons. I don't understand either. Like you said, you can't even call them a decoy. They don't even throw them the ball. They don't. It's a mess. Because why do I care about someone you're not going to throw the ball to? I guarantee you none of those D coordinators are like, oh my god, Kyle Pitts, you never throw him the ball. Who the hell cares? I I don't get it. As for the Jaguars, they they have a lot of potential, much like last year. I'm still waiting for them to take like that jump because they just have games sometimes where they just don't show up. Like that game. Don't get me wrong, Houston's coming, okay, but it was like they weren't ready. And sometimes that team just isn't ready, and I don't know what I need consistency. I love Doug Peterson, love Trevor. I think they're gonna by the end of the year. I really do think they're gonna come together and be a really tough team. I really do. But like you said, that division now is tough because D'Amico's got them playing over there. Because Houston's defense is what I wasn't ready for. They're playing a lot better than I thought. Even C.J. Stroud, obviously, no one saw like they knew he had potential, but you know how it is. Usually these quarterbacks go through a little bit of like growing pains. Right now, he's rolling. Now, I am interested to see because it's going to happen. He's going to play a team that's going to give him a rough game because he is a rookie. And I want to see how he handles it because some guys handle having a rough game better than others. Now, he did great in the Raven game because he got beat up. But yeah, I think that division's tough, really good. The Falcons, like you said though, I think they should go to Heineke not because Ritter's done, but I think he is a good serviceable quarterback. He's perfect for that team. They don't need you to be great. They have a lot of weapons. They need you to get the ball to the weapons. Now, like you said, fundamentally though, your coach needs to improve on this. You need to get the ball, Arthur Smith. You need to get the ball to your weapons. Throw screens to Drake London. Get the ball to. How about tight end screen? They don't even. Dude, just get the ball to him. You gotta get it because when you catch the
yeah,
ball.
they're a deep play action team, right? And
Yeah.
the thing is, they do RPOs with you can do RPO options with Ritter. They did it in the Packer game, and it actually worked really well. Like, again, there's ways to manufacture these, and get some of these targets to people, and it doesn't have to be these elaborate deep
No.
shots, right? I just, and
It's
I'm not a
interesting.
Falcon fan. I just like, dude, I know you have 3 top 10 picks on
Yeah.
this offense, and this offense has now produced. I mean, you could argue, the Green Bay game was bizarre that they scored 25 points, period, but they've scored 6 and 7 points now. I'll give you Detroit, maybe.
No, you're right though. You're right.
Play that well, where you should get that. So
No, you're right though. It's just frustrating. It's very frustrating for a team. I think they have all the weapons. Bijan is impressive. He's a very good player. I love what I see from him. It's just like you said, you can hem that in as a defense. I could keep you from.
Drake London has really good hands. One-on-one, you should be throwing him the ball as much as you can.
No, absolutely. He's
He
wasted
has,
too. You never hear about him because he don't get the ball. It's wild.
no, he broke a Falcons rookie record for yards and catches.
Yeah,
I think they had Julio Jones and Roddy White.
that's true.
And that's saying, I know it's a different era of football, but that's still saying something.
Oh, he's
And then
good.
Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts, part of him is you got to get that guy, some consistency, man. I feel bad in his career because he just, I think he might have been overpicked, in my opinion. I don't think he's truly an elite, when you talk about when Jimmy Graham was in his
Mm-hmm.
prime and, even like a Gronk. No one's going to be a Gronk. I expected Pitts to be like this other wide receiver you have. It's just a mismatch nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know what his purpose is.
It's
I hate
also
to say it.
it's also
If
hard
I were
to.
him, I would want to go because
Yeah.
it's just like how I'm not getting better. I'm not getting more consistent. So.
It's also hard to get a rhythm though when they don't get you the ball. You're not really like in the game. It's hard to stay engaged because You know, and then I've seen that before. They throw you a ball, and you're like, wait a minute, what? They're throwing the ball to me because you're not used to it. And you drop the ball, you're just not
Well,
ready.
and our Ritter now he throws it 25 yards over the guy's head. Like,
Yeah, that pick was
you know, not
awful.
not yeah. At the end of the day, like they've got to start small, man. You know, you got a good run game, dude. Run slants, just run some quick stuff, man.
And these
You
coaches know
know,
what they signed up for. Quit getting mad. Just, dude, take
exactly. Yeah,
accountability.
exactly.
God, 7 points,
Yeah,
7 points in the modern era NFL. 70s, I get it, because everyone was holding and hitting, and it was legal. Okay, fine. This is 2000. Oh my God, it's 2023, bro. You get 7 points for walking out there most of the time. I'm not even saying that to be funny. It's
I got. It's like the SAT. Just put your write your
spell your
name and
name
you get
right.
200
Yeah,
points.
yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm looking at all these games here. We got one team scored 6, and they scored 7. Everyone else, well, no, you got a couple threes, but Burrow's
Heck,
walking. He's
look,
hurt.
man. Green Bay was down 34 to or 27-3 at half, and they were able to get to put another 17 in the second half. Okay,
Yeah,
like, and I will tell you, some of what I watched in Green Bay is pretty ugly. Like, I don't think the Atlanta Falcons offensive line played as bad as Green Bay.
no, no, I
So
agree.
either you've been picking the wrong players, which I don't think so from what I've seen.
No, they're
I
talented.
truly think it's play calling and play calling and the guy that can get him the ball. And look, Ritter didn't have anyone to learn for last year. Like that's one thing I want people to understand too. You had Marcus Mariota who was trying to revitalize and maybe get a second win in his career, and then the guy quit on you. I don't really know if that's a mentor, right? So,
Yeah.
I think Desmond Ritter has a lot of awesome things. I don't know if he's ready yet. And there's a reason why they brought Heineke in. Is hey, if I'm Arthur Smith, I'm leaning to that sooner rather than later.
I would
Because
do
I
it
need a
just
guy
because you
that
can.
can get the ball to people I need to get the ball to.
I just would do it because you can go back to Ritter. It's not like he's young. You can let him learn. I think Heineke would be a pretty good mentor too. He's kind of like okay with the role as the backup. He's there to help. He's a gamer too. He reminds him and Gardner Minshew are like probably the two best backups. They're very they're gamers, man. You can't count them out. They're gutsy. They're gonna go in there and make plays. All right, let's go to the
Heck yeah.
next game. This was a track meet for a while, and then Buffalo just took over. Dolphins versus Bills. 48-20 was the final score. Tom, what are your thoughts? I feel like Miami got exposed a little bit, especially on defense. And their defense. Everyone was like, "Oh, look at this, look at that, look at the pass rush. Oh, the secondary." I'm like, I know Jalen's not back yet. Okay, that will help. But Buffalo kind of spread them out and threw all over them. And Josh Allen, when he's on, he is very good. And he had a great game. And Stephon Diggs, by the way, guys, what were you doing on that play? Tackle the guy. What was that? Anyway, whatever. They looked really, Bills looked really good. But I just want everyone to pay attention to something. 3 weeks ago, the first game of the year, everyone was, oh, the Bills are terrible. They need to blow it up. Blah blah blah. Now what? I'm just saying, calm down. It's early, okay? It's early.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Exactly.
that? Do you remember that? Oh my God.
Well, and what people don't understand either is, or not paying attention to, is like what I hate is fans just don't appreciate competition, right? Like these guys are the best of the best in the world,
And it's a
and
rivalry game. It's a rivalry
yeah,
game.
it's a rivalry game, and also the Jets actually their defense is really good.
Yeah,
Just let's like
very good. Did
I
anyone
don't
not see
think
how Mahomes looked against them? Oh my God, they were giving him all kinds of
we'll,
trouble.
we'll get into that later, but
Yeah,
yeah, like with the Bills and the Dolphins, right? Number one, it's what I figured with Miami, and it's going to happen. Defensive, like they are such a finesse team.
yeah.
Not meaning and I'm not calling them soft. What I'm saying is
Speed.
they score fast, right? It's speed. It's all, and what they get all these big runs. It actually hurts their defense. And again, Buffalo actually did a good job. Again, Josh Allen played well. They ran the ball effectively. Like, yeah, Miami just looked like the Miami of old that game, and they still scored a lot. Like, but their defense is kind of similar to Green Bay, right? They are built around an offense that's expected to put up a lot of points. And Buffalo's defense, they have really good pass rushers. They drafted and put a lot of depth in there,
Micah Hyde's back
right?
too. Micah Hyde's back. He
And then, yeah, they have a very good secondary. I'm concerned about Tre'Davious White. Like, that was a really big piece they missed.
yeah, he's out for the year. He's out for the year.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, I mean, that's huge for them. Like, I think they can still win that division easy because, unless the Jets magically get, I think the Dolphins, I think that might be a battle to the end, but,
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins are going to get exposed. I mean, you can tell Buffalo wanted to put 70 on them, too.
Oh yeah.
Just because a lot of these teams, now remember, that's like, again, you start showing off and doing those types of things, you know what's going to happen? It's going to, the NFL's competitive, people copycat, people are going to, you're going to have a target on your back. That's all I'm saying.
The only thing I will say for the Dolphins, though, the one guy that out of all the rookie running backs, as much as I like Bijan, and I think he was drafted well. I think A-Chain, I think that's how you say his name. He was definitely underdrafted. That man is good. He hits that hole and it's just, pew, he is gone.
Yeah. No, I mean, the Dolphins are scary, man. If you don't have the speed, you could end up playing a very finesse defense, a shell defense that if they can act, and what they got, Raheem Mostert in that running game, they can manufacture enough of a running game.
If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sorry.
Like, again, the Dolphins are very good, but, like, defensively, they are what they are. I think they've invested where they invested. Maybe if they get Jalen Ramsey back, it might be a little better. I don't know. I'm not really, teams are also going to game plan to score a lot. They know they got to score, man. They're going to be aggressive on offense. We can't play patty cake with this team or play keep away because you're going to lose.
Okay. Next game, Ravens at Browns. That was the defenses were playing in that game. Deshaun didn't play, obviously. I don't think he would have mattered. I mean, I think he would have helped. It obviously wouldn't have been 28-3, but I still think the Ravens would have won that game. They were just way more dominant on defense, and offensively, they played really well, honestly, for not having two linemen. Linderbaum was back. So, but it was their two corners. But what did you think, Tom? Impartially, Tom. I saw the game, but
the Ravens. I think their schedule earlier this year. I thought the challenge so far was Cincinnati. And they did well. They're a good team. They're a good team last year. Just guys got hurt. I mean, that seems to be the Ravens' MO is they can't keep guys healthy. They got a lot of
strength and conditioning problems. Yeah.
They got a lot of Ferraris, right? And that's the NFL now. It's these fine-tuned athletes. You need more Mustangs, man, that are durable but can still perform really well. I am concerned with their offensive line. I think
that's bad.
Every week. I mean, that hasn't been good since Lamar's been a starting quarterback.
Oh no, he has to run for his life half the time.
It's pathetic, man. Like, it's gonna get him killed.
Oh yeah. That's why he gets hurt at the end of every season, because he does a good job holding on for a while, but eventually all them hits add up. He can't. It's going to get you. Anybody. Does everyone remember how big Cam Newton was? It got him too.
Yeah, I mean, I love their weapons, man. Like, this is the first time I feel like the Ravens have had such a good cast of weapons. Like, probably since that Super Bowl run. Mark Andrews, you got Flowers, Bateman. When Odell decides to be healthy, I don't. That one, I'll be honest with you, that Odell signing to me is still kind of crazy. Like, he's a really good player, don't get me wrong, but when he's out there, and I just think you overpaid. You basically paid him double, man. When someone only plays half the season, you might as well take their salary and multiply it by 2, because that's what you're paying for him to sit on the bench. So,
and I want to make a shout out to the Browns defense is really good, though. It really is. That is a very good defense. They fly around, they make plays. They're very.
Jim Schwartz, man. What's wild is, Chach, as a Packer fan, that guy was out there. I would have taken him in a heartbeat. That's one thing I got to say is if you want a defensive culture change,
he is a very good coordinator. He is.
And bring in to change that culture, and you're like, so why are we doing it again?
I think, and I want to make it clear, I think the Browns are going to be very good this year. Deshaun's the wild card. If he plays well, now the loss of Nick Chubb was huge. By the way, too, can you guys start Kareem Hunt? He is the other guy. Ford's okay, but Hunt definitely is your guy. He knows the offense. He's still got that burst. I would start Kareem Hunt. I would. I'm sorry, but if Deshaun can give you like half of what he was, I think they'll be. I think they're gonna be in it just because of the defense. But if he gives you half of what he was, you have a shot because that defense is playing hard. They're corners too. They are Newsome. Oh, they got
Yeah.
some dogs, man. They're good.
Well, what's super interesting though too is even the receiving core. You have Amari Cooper,
Elijah Moore.
very good, and then you got Peoples Jones.
Elijah
they also
Moore.
have David Njoku. Like, it's actually not. They have a very solid offensive line. Like, it's not.
No.
That's kind of what's wild, and like no one talked about this team all offseason. Other than Deshaun might be back. And I agree, man. If Deshaun, if he can get the distractions of all the off-field crap he had years before and just play football, there's moments where you saw the other game against Tennessee, you're like, ooh, wow, there you go.
But I want to get one thing in before we skip to the next game, because this is selfishly as a Ravens fan. For everyone trying to say they would have had a shot if he played, like, you're wrong. They own him. They have played that man 3 times. He looked like crap in every game. Deshaun Watson, if you look it up, he's terrible against the Ravens. Like, throws picks. Does anyone remember the last one? He threw like 2 terrible picks. They got his number. They would have been fine. But they are not afraid of him. That was prime Deshaun too. Sorry, that's selfishly as a Ravens fan, Tom. I gotta get that out there. I was tired of hearing that.
Good, man. Like, you're right. Deshaun doesn't historically play well against Baltimore.
That's not his team. They don't. They got him.
I'm sure I can pull some fun statistics that would do a little EPA per play analysis and against games against the Ravens, and you'd find real quick.
I watched every minute of it. It was awful. He just throws like that. I remember the one game. It was like that in 2019. It was they were humming. It was like right before the Ravens started really turning it on, and eventually lost to the Titans. That's a sad year. I don't want to talk about it. But he that game was like 0-0, and they threw this like a crossbody pick. I was like, what is he doing? Trust me. The Ravens ain't afraid of him. Now the Chiefs might be because he used to put it on them. They were some battles. But we're gonna move on to the next game.
I don't know if that Deshaun exists anymore. I'll be honest with you.
I agree, dude. I don't know where people think you could.
A lot of it's just age. Like the one thing I hate with like even these teams and like fans, right? Guys, age is real. Anytime a player holds out, yeah, their body ain't taking a pounding, but you're aging. Father Time doesn't stop because you hold out or something happens like that.
Well, I don't know why we think you can like sit out. Like, remember Le'Veon Bell? You can't. This is football. You can't sit out a season. It takes a toll.
Yeah, any of these idiots that do this stuff, fine. You're just ruining your career, and it sucks, man. I mean, Deshaun Watson again. It's like I ain't gonna lie. I lost so much respect after what happened because I truly thought he was different as a human. And look, when you have that many allegations against you,
something's going on.
Just being really honest and transparent.
No, it's
true.
That
doesn't. I'm sorry, that doesn't resonate well with me at all. What you're doing, like, dude, you're a professional athlete, man.
Yeah. Like, no, it's true.
Be a leader, be a higher standard, and I thought you were with some of the things that you did in Houston, like treating the cafeteria staff the way you're supposed to, And I had a lot of hope. I was like, this is awesome, man. That's what, that's a guy I want representing the organization. And I don't know, man. He got a second chance. And I just feel like he's somewhat arrogant about it and not very humble. Just like, hey, whatever. It's because I'm good, but you're not really that good. So, anyways, there'll be an interesting story all year because they have a lot riding on Deshaun.
Yeah. I think he's the key. He is the key because the rest of that team's pretty well rounded. I love the return man too. He makes plays, man. He's a good player. We're gonna go to the next game. I don't think it's gonna be. This probably isn't gonna be as long of a conversation, but this was a wild one. Broncos at Bears. That was a crazy game. That was up, back and forth, and a whole mess. Oh my god. Justin Fields looked like freaking the greatest quarterback in the world for like 3 quarters. That was wild. Man had like 2 incompletions.
Yeah, I mean, number one, I don't know what Sean Payton did to that Denver defense, but dear Lord, like it used to be, like that was what the strength was last year.
Yeah, what happened?
I'll tell you this, man. For all the crap that he talked about with Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah. He did mess that defense up. Yeah.
They had a great defense there. I mean, their offense was a mess, but.
I'm starting to think this is a little like the Urban Meyer thing where someone came in and they're just, it's like you said, I think we were talking about it one day. the game's kind of passed him by, and I think all these players are looking at him like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, his voice isn't resonating like it used to. They're just like, who is this old dude? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like when Parcells went to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, the discipline, the accountability, that always exists, but, you know, you need to have innovative play calling.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
like, the NFL offense and defense the way it is now is not the same when the Saints won the Super Bowl.
No, it's
So,
not.
it's a lot different. And I know Sean Payton, you know, he's not that far removed, but I would argue some of the things they're doing are super archaic.
No, yeah, it is interesting what you're saying. How everyone peeped how like when Nathaniel Hackett wasn't he 2-2 when he was 2-2. Oh, they're awful. Oh, this dude's 1-3, and I hear a little bit, but I don't hear as much. I should be hearing more because like you said, the fundamental difference is that defense is broken now. It is awful. It is getting lit up by everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, man. No, it makes no sense, man. Like, seriously, like, you know, Russell Wilson is what he is, and I don't know how much Sean Payton's going to truly change it. I mean, I think what was the most bizarre thing in the world in this game was just, I mean, the Bears are just the Bears. That franchise is just...
It's bad. It's really bad.
Well, and you got to really question at some point. Look, if I'm Ryan Pace, I don't know if I'm willing to bet on this coaching staff and what's going on. Like, you got a defensive head coach that we can't call defense.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, I'll blame. You got to point the blame at. You know, it starts with the owner. You know, I still to this day don't understand why you had Matt Nagy still there and you selected Justin Fields. Which is probably what not Matt Nagy would have wanted to coach, right? And it's a continual dysfunctional organization. And that game just embodies everything about why it's a shit show. So, excuse my French, but and it stinks because you know what? I loved in the early 2010s when the Packers and Bears actually meant something. You know, you had an NFC title game that meant something. So,
dude, it's sad. That is a city yearning for a great team too. They have such a great fan base, man. They're wild. They're great. It's a great city.
Yeah, I just feel like they've been hanging their hats on the '85 Bears for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like that's looking like, you know, unfortunately Caleb Williams might be playing another year of college football because I sure the heck wouldn't want to be selected.
What I love about him though, he said these are the teams I will play for. If they ain't got the first pick, guess what? I make more money in college than I'll make in the pros. I'll see y'all later. That was funny. He was like, yo, for real, I'll come back.
Yeah, no, he should, dude. You are putting your career at risk, man.
By the way, I love Shedeur too. Shedeur, don't, bro, don't. You don't want those. Your dad will tell you though. Your dad will be like, I'm sure in private, Dion will be like, listen, nah, dude, tell him like your dad told Detroit, you're gonna have to put me on layaway. Be like, nah, I ain't doing that. That's what he needs to tell.
Right?
By the way, I know we're going into college football, but Shedeur looks really good, dude. He had pocket presence. I mean,
think if the Falcons could draft him.
Oh,
I just think, like, yeah.
He's a legend. Dude, he looks... Hey, Shedeur, you're a legend, bro. Top 5. Just be careful. Because you might go to the Bears.
Oh, gosh.
Because you know what I'm impressed by? The last 2 weeks, he has had terrible offensive line, and he is just staying in there and gunning, getting right back up. Guy's got durability. He's got good pocket presence. He's just... And Colorado is on the come up. Give him a couple years, but that line needs to get better. Oh, my God. That poor man's back there getting smacked. Anyway, we'll move on because, God, Denver, too, I feel bad for you. Such a proud franchise, but you guys are down bad right now. I hope he gets better. Russell Wilson, I'm sorry. Pete Carroll, everyone made fun of him. Oh, you're driving out of franchise. He fleeced everyone. He fleeced them. He said, oh, you want Russell Wilson? Okay. Oh, he's great. Yeah, you're going to love him. Give me your first round pick. Not that Russell's not terrible. Okay, next game. This one we already talked about it. Steelers against Texans at the Texans. 30-6. The Texans won. What do you think, Tom? I'll let you go.
Dude, just simple for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Like offensively, like it could be the players, it could be the OC, but dude, you guys, Pittsburgh Steelers football is running the ball.
Yeah.
They just don't do it, man. You got to figure out how to manufacture a run game. You know, it's similar to Green Bay, man. You know, that's what you got to do. So, Houston, man, that team fights. The dude, give them 2-3 years. I'm telling you, D'Amico Ryans is a smart hire. Like, I loved it. Like, dude, like when they went from Saleh to Ryans calling defense in San Francisco, and nothing changed. I'd argue it got even better. Like, man, that guy knows what he's doing. He's drafted some guys that just have a fire about him. So
Nida, he brings that pride. He played there. He has pride for that team. And most of it's pretty cool, man. That was like one of those hires where you're like everything fits so perfectly. That's so cool, you know.
Yeah.
And that team is obviously responding to him. And C.J. Stroud, man, hey, I thought he would be decent, but he is. His poise is ridiculous. Because, you know, Pittsburgh's going to hit you because they have a hell of a pass rush and defense. That young man kept getting up, making throws. And their receiving core, man, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, they got some dogs out there, man. They can play. Like, for real. That is. You got some people, man. Hey, Texans, like you said, couple years, man. Look, they're dangerous this year, but in a couple years, man, oof, that's a headache. And the Steelers, I want to make this perfectly clear because it's Ravens Steelers week. It's going to be a good game. It always is. No, does everyone remember when the Ravens won the year where the Steelers were like really good and they kept them out the playoffs? Or no, they knocked them to the wild card game with like a 5-11 team. That was hilarious. But it's always a tough game. So it's going to be a tough game. I don't care what anyone says. It's not going to be a 30-10 game. It never is. It's always tough because it's backyard football. It's people beating each other up. It's tough. It's great. But the Steelers.
One thing
good. I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
I just said, last thing about the Steelers from my end is, you know, look, Tomlin, you know, Pittsburgh's similar to Green Bay. They stick with people, right? Even Matt, you know, Steeler fans are pissed at Matt Cadillac and all that stuff, man. Look, these guys aren't stupid. Like, stop it with that garbage. You know, you got players that aren't performing to the level. You know, yeah, you got to, again, there's personnel and they are trying to do something. And when you can't execute at the level they're not, you know, I mean, it's a young offense, man. They have a bad offensive line. What do you know, like, as Pittsburgh fans, this isn't Ben Roethlisberger.
No.
You knew that. You know, you got to give it time, man. So, and, you know, I think against the Raiders, you saw, hey, what it can look like.
Yeah.
They had some success. So, just, you know, be patient, man. You have a really good defense. I think, you know, offensively, it's going to be a challenge probably for a few years.
And you, Tom, you know I watch my running backs. Najee Harris, my one issue with him, he needs to stop running sideways. Dude, get downhill north and south. You're not a sideways guy. Okay, you north and south. He always is moving. He's breaking tackles sideways. You can't be doing that all the time. It's not getting you yards. Gotta go forward.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the A.J. Dillon syndrome, where he thinks, hey, I can juke in you. Now, go downhill. Beat a defense up.
Beat a big man.
You should only be calling 4 plays with that guy in there. Dive, inside zone,
off tackle,
trap, power, and then I'll give you one more counter. That's it. All downhill, A-gap runs.
I don't know why everybody's like so like against that too. Like these like guys, just teams, just go, just use the guy like you said, run them, beat a team up.
I think the NFL's gotten so cute with the dressing stuff up certain ways and motions. Trying to be so dang cute. Sometimes it's like, dude, man for man, beat me. Dare you do.
Nothing demoralizes someone more than just getting road graded. You can't do nothing about it, and it's awful.
Look what Philly did against the Vikings. Look at even what Detroit did against Green Bay. They just lined up in the second half and pounded it, and it was amazing. And it's like, that is football. You know what? Man for man, we are stronger and better than you. That's it.
And you could see the other team on the sideline just like, what do we do? Because you there's nothing to do. You can't move them, so it's not going to work. Okay, we're going to go to the next game. We got Rams against Colts. That was a wild one. Puanuka is a legend. That's it. That's all we got to know. Okay, Tom, you go ahead and do. And the Colts, tough team. They play everyone tough, man. I give them that. Very impressed by that.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, Coach of the Year, maybe Sean McVay, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's
Seriously, like that roster with what they're going through right now, and they are super competitive. And I mean, again, it shows you how brilliant McVay is.
oh yeah.
Um, you know, and again, it shows the NFL like, hey, they got a couple superstars and then a lot of guys that they draft really, really, really well. So
It also shows you the
something to
draft
be.
process. We need to look better, especially receiver. I think the one thing we always forget, right? Catching the ball is very important. Okay, can you catch the
Oh
ball?
yeah, well, exactly, dude. Look, yeah, maybe the flash sells tickets, but dude, at the end of the day, man, like I said, what's awesome, I'll be curious is how the heck they use Cooper Cup, because this is almost kind of his replacement. I'm
Yeah,
kind of interested, because Cooper, I am concerned like he's kind of towards the end of his career, but
the injuries are
um,
catching up. Yeah.
yeah, no, it sucks because he's an amazing, amazing wide receiver.
Oh, he was. That one
Um,
year, he had one of the greatest seasons ever because he even culminated it with catching the game-winning touchdown, which was.
dude, he should have had the MVP. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers did not deserve it.
No, I
He
agree.
played so, but whatever. That's how it's a quarterback. It's basically a quarterback award. So, yeah, I mean Richardson. Like the Colts are doing some cool things, and maybe they actually found something in Richardson. I don't really know. When I watched him at Florida, he's not doing those things, so it's nice to see.
I'm
I
just
just don't.
concerned with
I
injury.
don't know. You don't have enough film, and I don't think enough people know what's going on with him. So,
I think my
um,
only concern with him is injury, but I do think he can definitely get better with that. I think he's a young rookie, and you know how it is running through a wall all the time. It's how they are when they're young, or how players are usually. You want to prove yourself. I get it. I give him a couple years. I want to just see if he improves on that. Besides that, yeah, like you said, he's made good strides. He looks like he's learning everything. And what I do like about him, he has guts, man. He is kind of clutch. He always plays hard, better at the end of the games when they need him. He steps up, man. Good player. We'll see. Next game
yep.
we got the Bucks at the Saints. That was hey, the Bucks, man. The Saints are kind of what they've been the last few years. Defense is really good, but their offense is just meh. And Baker Mayfield, I give him credit. He's playing hard. The Buccaneers look like a complete team right now. They're playing really well. I'm very impressed. Their defense has really took a step up this year. I don't. They were decent last year, but it's like I think it's health. I think they're more healthy than they were last year. But they look very good. What about you, Tom? What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, one thing I like about Baker Mayfield is, he seems to be a big chip on his shoulder quarterback to prove people wrong. And look, I like it though, man. Like, it makes you wonder. Like, it's kind of funny some of the stuff Sean's done in Cleveland, and you're like, but Baker costs like $6 million a year, and this guy's costing you like 30. So, not sure the math makes sense there. But like, I mean, their team's tough, man. Like, and the thing is, they can win the South. The South is so easy. There's no one. Carolina's not going to be very good this year, and you're seeing it. They're competitive to a point. The Saints are super disappointing. They should be way better. I'm not sure if their just roster's gotten old. They did lose some pieces on defense, but man, they are the.
Yeah,
Um,
not very good right now. Yeah.
you know, uh, Derek Carr clearly wasn't going to be the savior they thought. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, but the Bucks, man, their defense—that's what they're about, man. And they've kept that up, and they got healthy. They do have really good offensive weapons. They have a solid offensive line, and again, they had Tom Brady there for 3-4 years, teaching everybody and building a culture there. That culture just doesn't disappear when he's gone.
No,
Some of
Todd
those
Bowles
leaders
is a good
take that
coach
on,
too.
so it's cool to see. Go Bucks, man.
Todd Bowles, very good coach too. Always underrated. Very good coach. Love Todd Bowles. Next game we got Commanders at Eagles. That was a wild one, man. And everybody quit complaining about the damn tush push. Stop it if you want. If you can't, it's not my problem. And you got Chris Sims on TV talking about kill the quarterback. Calm down, buddy. Okay. Partially, I do this because I don't like Chris Sims. He's annoying.
Dude, I
I'm
gotta
coming
say,
for
man,
people. I don't
there's a
care.
couple Fox announcers this year, bro, that just drive me up a wall. Like, yeah, I thought I was like, great, they got rid of Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I only have to listen. I don't even have to listen to them half the time anymore because most of the Monday night games are trash. And I'm like,
Yeah, man.
wow, Jonathan Vilma's taking it to a whole new level this year when the Packers are playing the Saints. I was like, my God, it's even worse than I thought it could be. So, really, All I want in my life is a Jim Nance and Tony Romo.
Yeah,
That's all I want,
yeah,
man.
they're very good.
I just,
Good game. It was a good game. I love the Eagles. Always, even when there's a little adversity, kind of keep their head. They're just a team. They find a way to win. They have a lot of. They're kind of all over the place right now, trying to figure themselves out. All these new pieces they added on offense, especially with like the running game and everything. But they still have their core. I think they'll hit their stride more later. I've noticed teams have figured out how to deal with Jalen's the offense with Jalen Hurts a little better, like how to hem him in a little more. But he still finds a way. He's a great player. And as for the Commanders, I still like Sam Howell's moxie. He's very tough. He makes plays. He's Don't get me wrong. He had that game where he threw 4 picks. He's having the young player like ups and downs, but the dude's got a lot of grit. I like him. And the Commanders, they're not far away. They have a lot of good pieces, man. Good team, but and typical like we were just talking about rivalry game. It's always going to be close most of the time because these teams know each other. They scout their teams a lot. They know what they're doing. They're ready for these games. But the Eagles are 4-0 and they're doing their thing. It's early in the season. We'll see. They'll only get better in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah. I mean, the Eagles. I think inconsistencies. You're going to be right. People, you got a target on your back now, right? People really game plan for you. I think a lot of teams are telling Jalen Hurts, hey, throw it, beat me with your arm, which is, it's a double-edged sword, but you'd rather that than just, again, let their run game and him running around continue to beat you. So, defensively, man, they got a really good D line. Don't get me wrong, but that secondary's always been, I think, a concern. You saw in the Super Bowl. I mean, they gave up 38 points, whether you like it or not. They gave up a lot of points, and their defensive, that defensive line, like, yeah, they got the depth. They can rotate people, but you still got to cover. There's sometimes you're just not going to get 4 guys there.
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Anyways, yeah, the Commanders. They're, again, you see like a revitalized team, this city, because of, hey, Daniel Snyder, that cloud going away, so it's pretty cool. They got, like, again, I really do like Howell. I think that's a good, that's a solid piece. I think he can be really serviceable for them. They're like, they can get there. If they get on a streak, man, they could be a wild card team. I don't see why not. But, anyways, next game.
All right, this game, I don't have much to say. Bengals at the Titans. My only thing is, guys, I understand Joe Burrow is your quarterback and you want to listen to him. The Bengals. Sometimes you gotta tell the player, bro, you get it's too late now. You should have told him sit for like 3 games in the beginning, and then, come back later and we'll make a run. Because now this is all pending. If he gets fully healthy, okay, I was wrong. I'm perfectly okay with that. If he doesn't get fully healthy, that was a big mistake. Because when's he gonna heal? That's my issue. I don't get what they're doing. Because he's like, what did you say about Flacco when he got old? He looks like him. He's just a statue, and their line is not good. He can't be a statue. It's getting hit.
Yeah. No, I mean, either you got to call a quick short pass game, or I don't really know what to say about the Bengals at this point, to be really honest with you. Like, I think.
And they lost 27-3 was the final score. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Put it tight.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's they had a physical game against the Ravens. They got to play another really physical team. I think defensively, people aren't really talking about the loss of Jesse Bates and how much
that was huge.
He's coverage, but also like run support. Like there's a lot of teams used to see that when you have really good safeties that can run support, it makes a difference. I just, the same thing. Like, dude, Joe Burrow, he doesn't look right. Like, why are you risking franchise right now? Put a guy out there that can still get the ball, ball to Jamar Chase. I think they have Simeon or whoever. Like, Joe Burrow clearly, like, dude, it doesn't make any sense. So, I just don't understand how they, like, dude, they spent all this money or all this capital on protecting this guy, and then they don't protect him. So, and you're seeing too Joe Mixon losing him. Just they ain't right, man.
No.
So.
And the Titans, typical Titans, man. They're tough. They're they're a dog fight every time you play them. They're a tough team.
Another young team that's going to be up and down, hot and cold, but man, they're pretty fun to watch.
Oh,
So,
and
'cause
like
they're
we
like,
just said, this is my thing with
yeah,
the Bengals. You're putting them out there against teams that you know are tough. That's a tough team. Simmons is coming for you when you play them. He's tough end. He's gonna hit your quarterback. It's a that they've got quick linebackers. That's a bad team to put your quarterback in there when he can't move. You know, because Mike Vrabel's bringing it. He
yep,
brings it every time. They play to the end of the whistle. That's a rough team, man. You're gonna get beat up. So,
exactly, man.
and I'm only saying this because I am a Ravens fan. All you Bengals fans that like to sit there and be like, "Oh, we was the last time you made a Super Bowl? When did y'all win a Super Bowl?" Just shh, it's okay. You celebrate that L, okay? Sorry, Tom, I had to get that out. They get on my nerves. Just
How you do, bro?
go
All
home.
right.
Go home. Anyway,
What's up?
next game is Vikings at Panthers. I think the Vikings, they're just it's kind of they're kind of playing like they played at the end of last year, where they just kept losing and they never could get their mojo back. From remember when they started like 11, was it 11-0, whatever it was? They were really good in the beginning of the season last year, and even me and you were talking about it. I didn't think they were gonna. Me and you both were like, "They ain't gonna hold up." You can see it. All that lucky wins kind of went down. Now they're losing like those games where it's close. That's the difference. The Panthers, they're their young team, like you said, we were just talking about young team. They're a young team, but they're devoid of a lot of talent. They need receivers. They need a better line. But Bryce Young, I still see very good signs with him. The guy's a gamer. I think he's going to be fine. Just give him a couple years. You got to be real patient because that team's got a lot of holes. Their defense is very good, very solid. Their offense, though, they need a lot of work. That's him and not a lot of weapons. And the line is really bad. Even if he has weapons, he can't get it to him. We ain't gonna see him. He getting hit. My man's getting up. Like I got this. The Vikings too. It's Kirk Cousins. I like him. He's a solid QB, but he's only going to get you so far. And their defense is kind of mid now. They're not great. They're just okay. They're okay. Team's kind of in like that team's in a weird spot. They're not young. They're kind of in limbo. The Vikings, they're kind of in that little middle threshold where you have to make a choice. Do you want to go veteran heavy and try to win this year, or do you want to start going younger and start weaning out some players? Like, you're a little old, we gotta go. Because you have Justin Jefferson. You have to take advantage of him being your best player while he's still there. Okay. I don't know. They're in a weird spot.
Yeah, I mean the Vikings is they are what they are. I don't. Kirk Cousins, I'd be curious. They'll probably play him, the full year. I'd be curious if that's a team like they do. The Falcons take a flyer on trying to get him in the building, trade for him.
That's a good point. That would be a good team for him to go to because they need a kind of like a guy to steer the ship, you know?
The Vikings are about to be in a roster turnover too, just like Green Bay is. But I mean, you saw them; their defense stepped up and figured out how to win a game, which is cool. So I do like what's his face down there, their defensive coordinator, my ex-Miami coach. So Brian Flores, there you go.
Very good, yeah, he's very good.
Yeah. So yeah. Not much to say, but the game they should have won, it was closer than I thought it should have been. So,
Yeah.
anyways.
Panthers rebuilding, yeah. Raiders at Chargers. Okay, so real quick, just the Raiders for me, they're a mess. They've been a mess. They're still a mess. You trade all your players, they get open. Okay, Waller's in New York in a terrible position because they don't even throw him the ball. Different story. We'll get to that at the end. But the Raiders being the Raiders, I mean, Devontae Adams, even your best player, you bring him there and you get rid of the reason he went there. I don't know what they're doing. The Chandler Jones saga over here, I don't even know what's going on. This team's a mess. They're a mess. They're a mess. The Chargers, they're finally starting to win these games where they used to lose. I don't trust their coach. I really don't. He is terrible at the end of games. Heat management, the decisions he makes, Staley, he's not the best. He's not. Justin Herbert, very good. They have a lot of weapons. Austin Eckler, I know it's Eckler. That's my nickname for him. Very good player. Their team's loaded. Keenan Allen. I like you always say, I think the talent of that team is better than what you see. Like, I don't know how they're not a better team, but Khalil Mack, 6 sacks, though. Legendary. That guy just keeps... Great player. That time.
Yeah. The Raiders are what they are. It was nice to see O'Connell compete. Sucked at the end that the young guy just trying to force a win. Yeah, I mean, I thought he did a good job getting it to Devontae Adams. Feel bad for Devontae Adams, but that's a guy, hey, that trade deadline, that's a way to offload some. I just don't really know what the Raiders are doing. I don't understand why all these ex-Patriot coordinators think, hey, I'm bringing in all my boys because your boys weren't that good in New England to begin with. So, anyways, whatever. It's a rivalry game, though. You see what happens. I mean, the Chargers, I'm just not impressed with them ever. They got a lot of they got a lot of guys, though. That's what's wild is there's just so much talent.
Oh, they got the nameplates. They just don't got the pelts on the wall, man. It's like, what?
No, they don't, and they don't got. I don't think they got the right guy leading them. That's just should be blatantly obvious at this point. So
yeah, he's not a very good coach. I feel like there's a lot of coaches that could do a lot.
It was the only competitive 4:00 game though, so I'll give it that. So at least that was fun.
Oh yeah, speaking of uncompetitive 4:00 games, our next game, Patriots at Cowboys. Okay, I'm gonna say it, and I think Bill Belichick's a great coach. I don't know what he's doing now. He's having a good old time. They gotta figure this out. I don't know what they're doing. This team's a mess. Mac Jones. I can't excuse this. I don't care what you can't blame coaching for this, dude. You cannot throw a ball across the field in the NFL after like 8 seconds. They're gonna pick that every time. DaRon Bland was like, is this man really going to throw? I'm going to tell you what he was thinking. He was looking at that dude and like, he is not going to throw this. And then as soon as he saw him, he was like, oh, this is a house call. That man picked that and ran it back like, what the hell? He even was like, what is he doing? It's like, that was so bad. That looked like a high school play. That was bad. You don't do that. You don't even do that in high school, bro. What are you doing? And the Cowboys did what you should do. They were a mess. The Patriots, they destroyed them. And I give credit to the Cowboys. They came out there. The defense played great. The offense was running the ball and very efficient. Cowboys ran them over, got them out of there. Easy win. That was a non-competitive game. So.
Yep. No, I mean, I truly, you got to question if the game's passed Bill Belichick by, especially on the offensive side. I mean, they got Bill O'Brien, but I don't get it. And Bill O'Brien should know better, too, so that's what's even kind of more crazy. So, maybe I'm nuts. Maybe Bill Belichick just knows more and they just truly have terrible players. But I have a feeling this is Bill's last year in New England, no matter what. The Crafts are going to do the hard thing and they're going to say it's time to go.
Yeah, I don't think they're wrong.
And they should. Like, it's just his time, man. He's been there forever. There's a ton of success. Like, a ton of success, Hall of Fame, all-time greatest, But, dude, I'm just going to say this. You ain't getting to win 300 the way that stuff's going right now.
No.
I mean, we could get into the film and you could really dive in. Some of it's Mac Jones.
And I truly believe
it's concepts, man. I just don't get the concepts. It's so old school, 19.
Yeah.
Tom Brady concepts that don't even Tom Brady doesn't run that stuff anymore.
No.
In Tampa. That's what's the most bizarre thing in the world. It's like, dude. So.
I feel like he's not pivoting like you need to stay in this league. You have to pivot to like what's working now. The league changes. Evolution happens in everything. Football especially.
And he was always revolutionary. I don't know if it's truly passed him by.
Yeah.
That's all. It happens. Eventually, hey, you've been somewhere for so long. Change is a good thing. So.
Yeah. It might be good for both parties. I agree. Okay, so next game. This is the one very quickly because I don't even have that much to say about this one. Do you want to go first? It's Cardinals at 49ers.
Yeah, the only thing
35-16 Niners.
49ers look really good at this point. I question their defense though, because I mean, Cardinals competed, man, and I gotta say, like the Cardinals, like the way they're using the wide receivers, like Rondale Moore and stuff, is awesome. Like
I agree.
I really don't know what Cliff Kingsbury was doing last year. So
right, I didn't even know I was so mad at how he used him. I was like, dude, you gotta get Rondale the ball. We were just talking about that with Kyle Pitts.
And even Hollywood Brown's making tough catches. So
no. Hollywood's doing great over there. I love it. They're using it.
They got the right guy in place for accountability and culture, and that's what you want to see from Arizona, but not really a contest. I mean, you can, so.
If I'm a Cardinal,
that's a game San Francisco should win.
Yeah,
there's definitely some things a lot of things they got to clean up too. They're not invincible.
No.
So.
I only have real quick on this game. If I'm a Cardinals fan, I love it. I would love watching that team. They compete. They're getting better every week. If honestly, if I'm Buda Baker, I don't want to be traded because here's my thing: in a couple years, I think they'll be really good. Because this coach, they believe in him. They're playing hard. Hey, I don't know. If he gets traded, I'm sure it'll be a good team. So whatever. But that team's one to come up. I love their coaching. If I was a fan, I'd be so happy. We got Josh Dobbs playing hard too. 49ers, you won the game because you're more talented. Eventually, talent takes over in some instances. This was one of them. They just out talented them after a while. The team's just better. You start winning the game. Christian McCaffrey's been terrific all year. That's a guy, legend. They have a lot of weapons. Like we always talk about, Kyle Shanahan's a genius. Guy knows what he's doing. So, seriously, both teams should be happy. 49ers are wrong, but like you said, got a lot to clean up, guys, because you've had a couple games where you came out the gates a little rusty. Okay? That'll work now. In the postseason, no. And Brock Purdy, I don't care what anyone says, I gotta see it. All this crap, if he played in the Eagles game, we would have won. I don't know about that. Y'all keep thinking that. Okay? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I got a lot of
he was
questions.
pretty bad in that game. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
just
when
saying.
he wasn't in there, so
Chiefs at Jets. This game was wild. I want to go first because I just have one thing to say. The PI call. Okay? I don't think it was terrible. My issue is the referee. I mean, it wasn't PI. It was illegal contact. You need to throw the flag before the interception because that looks so bad. I cannot defend that. That really does look like you were like, oh, he threw a pick. Well, fuck that. We're going to pay. Excuse my language. Forget that. We can't have that happening. Holding defense. Guys, the narrative looked bad. Okay? Now you got 100 people now. It's rigged. It looks bad. And because I was sitting there after that, I was like, how could I defend that? I cannot defend that because he literally watches him catch that ball and then goes, yeah, it's a holding. It looks so bad. But great game as far as I love the Jets. I got to give the Jets this. I think this could be a game. Hear me out. It might not happen. I think this could be a game that brings them together because here's my thing. They rallied and came. They were down 17-0. You know how many teams fold against the Chiefs? Almost every team folds when they're up 17-0 because they're like, oh, they got Mahomes. We're gonna get blown out. That team rallied. Freaking Wilson looked great. Oh my God, he played hard. He was showing some grit, made some throws. I don't know, still don't know how that's going to turn out. He's got a bad track record. He's had a rough start to his career, but you never know. He's young. I remember Alex Smith. He got beat up for 5 years and then had a really good career. But this could be a turnaround game for the Jets. They played them hard, and if he doesn't fumble that snap, who knows? Big mistake, too. That was all on him. Watch the replay. Hit him in the chest. He took his eyes off the ball. That's why he fumbled. I saw it.
yeah, I mean, at the end, there's Hall of Fame level play from him, and then what I like about him is he took some Zach Wilson took
Accountability,
ownership. That is a massive maturity improvement. It's going to help, but at the end of the day, though, you got to deliver. So I think, and this Jets team is all into winning this year.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the corpse of Randall Cobb being out there doesn't help you. Running Garrett Wilson on a fucking 2-yard, sorry, excuse my French. Running Garrett Wilson on a 2-yard out doesn't help you, right? There's some things at some point, like offensively, I kind of go, meh. They got a bad offensive line.
Run Breece Hall. Run Breece Hall. Yes.
Robert Saleh and Matt LaFleur should go have a conference and just go sit in a quiet room for 3 days and try to figure out why they don't use their talented running backs.
Yeah.
Just completely and utterly bizarre. Understand trying to save people, but this game you only have so many opportunities to win games in the NFL. So.
No, true.
The one thing I got to say about the Chiefs, that, again, until someone dethrones them, but I'm going to tell you right now, their pass catchers are not very good.
No, they drop a lot of passes.
Other than Travis Kelce, and that's going to be a problem. And I don't think anyone's calling that out. Chris Collinsworth, look, man, Mahomes is unbelievable, but he did play back.
Yeah, those throws were.
And the Jets defense played amazing and shut things down for him. So I think there's a way to really beat them this year. And there's a lot of people that said they may start off slow, which they kind of are, but I think this is actually what they are. And what you're starting to see the evolution of in Kansas City is what happened to Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. You pay a guy all this money, It's now on him to shoulder the load. You can't afford to go even pick
No,
up a
no.
cheap Juju Smith-Schuster.
Well,
So it now it's starting to come full circle.
I agree with
I've
you.
got one last thing though. I really do love the Swiftie stuff. It's fun, and I think it's a total genius PR move by both Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, and the NFL. It's just fun. I don't care that it's being talked about. NFL fans that are mad about it, go listen to the Telemundo broadcast or something.
I love Telemundo. You leave Telemundo alone.
Nah.
Nah. I like Tom. I like Tom, obviously, but you know what? Nah. I ain't even got a problem with the Swifty thing. I just don't like Taylor Swift. I'm okay.
All right. The Monday night game.
By the way, I agree with
The Giants are a dumpster fire.
Seahawks 24-3, baby.
Well, and all right, I was listening to the right tackle Neal has been playing terrible.
Oh yeah, he has.
He talked about he's complaining about fans critiquing him, and he comparing them to they just flip burgers. I play in the NFL. Man, you do not criticize fans like that. Number one, you're not above anybody. You just play and I put my pants on the same way you do.
Tom, thank you. Can I get in on this? Because I hate when they do this. No one's comparing you to the guy that flips burgers. I'm comparing you to your peers, and you're terrible. No. We're not doing this. No, I don't like that. That ain't what I'm doing.
If I'm the Maras, you should just cut him.
Tom, you could do that. Any of us could do that in our profession. Tom could be like, you don't do what I do. I'm better than the guy that works that does landscaping. Well, I guess so. Are you? And he's better than you at that. So what are we doing? Like, how are you against your peers? What are we doing?
Exactly. Well, and have some respect. Those people are paying your bills.
Yes.
And they love the Giants. And they're trying. You know what? They're also the cog that makes society go.
And can we give Pete Carroll? Can we give Pete Carroll some love? Because listen, my boy Gino is pretty good. He's not great, okay, but he has that team humming. And Tom knows this because he told me he's seen this man in person twice. I have not, but he is one of my favorite wide receivers. And he's been doing it for a while. Tyler Lockett is a legend. Route running, hands, the guy's good. Gets that first down every time. Gotta love him. Gotta love Tyler Lockett. What a legend. And he's been there forever. My man. And Witherspoon, what a good pick. I thought he was going to be good, and he is playing really good right now. And they got him. Oh, they got two really good corners. Wooten, they're lock them up, baby.
That's a team that could steal a win from San Francisco. And again, I mean the NFC West is competitive, man. They're kind of a fun division. They got a lot of cool coaches
and like you said, the Giants, guys, this thing, it's a running theme. You guys have heard it the whole show. Your offensive line's important. If you don't have them, you're not winning anything. You're really not. You're going to get your guy killed too. Because every player takes a step down. So if you have a serviceable quarterback, Daniel Jones, little below serviceable probably in my opinion. But anyway, it takes them down a step because now they're in chaos all the time. It's hard. It's very hard to be good when you're being chased.
All I can say is this: the Giants are in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Because they should have told Daniel Jones, "I'll give you a 1 year, prove it to me."
Yeah.
And that's what his career is. Because he's never been that good, and they're just trying to resurrect. I don't understand.
The amount of money they gave that guy is crazy.
Yeah, I have a few friends that are Giants fans trying to, build up all this false hope, and guys, I'm just telling you right now, man, it's not good. And I don't know what the Maras are doing, and I think they do have a good coach.
This team's a mess, yeah.
You gotta have. Anyways, but
I like Wink. I like Wink and his aggressiveness, but sometimes that's another guy. I'm starting to think his defense is a little too old school. Like, dude, they eat that up now. If they know you're blitzing all your people, the zero blitz stuff, they're gonna get quick throws out, screens. They're gonna eat that up. They know what you're doing. You gotta mix it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. You can't blitz everyone. They just throw a slip screen. It's a 50-yard gain, and the guy score. They pick that stuff up. It's not working. That team's a mess. And also, I just want to say one thing before we end the show. I'm only kidding. I got no problem with Taylor Swift. I ship both of them. You guys win. I love her and his mom. Legends. Two legends. Besides, if Travis does his thing right, he's gonna be part of a song soon. Don't worry. It's all gravy, baby. The NFL's smart too. Like Tom said, this is why they make all this money. They market well. They're geniuses. Geniuses. And if you guys notice, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds came in behind them, so these games are big now. It's the only time you'll see famous people in New Jersey. Okay, I'm only kidding. Let me stop. But thank you guys for watching. Tune in next week. We're gonna go over the Week 5 games. It's gonna be wonderful. It's Steeler week for me, so batten down the hatches, boys. It's a party. What about you, Tom? Anything to say before we leave?
Just excited that Packers play Monday night. Another week, Hey, you only get so many opportunities to watch the Packers every year, so just you gotta enjoy it, man.
I'm gonna be watching too. We'll go over all the games. I got my NFL Premium Plus, NFL Plus Premium. I'm sorry, everybody. Hey, we'll take a sponsorship from you guys too. I use your app religiously. Love it. You can mirror it on your TV, so don't let them tell you can't watch the games on your TV. You can. I love it though. It's very good. But thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next week, and we'll be back. Bye.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.